Hello everybody, this will be my last video today as I got to get to work. My case is done. It's been done a long time ago in this area. Little bit of articulation, not really a big deal. The big deal is the database of names off the emails that I have to put together. Tremendous amount of work there. It's an all-day project. We're coming on to noon here Eastern time. I have probably a good 8-9 hours to actually put that in database, which will be alphabetical to make it easier for myself. It's a lot of data entry. It's okay, I'll do it. I'll get it done, but it takes a lot of work. Last time I did, it was over 300 and some names. That took me several hours. So this is going to be all day for me. Going to get done. But I want to leave you all with this about the ICC, International Criminal Court, the P5, UNSC P5, United Nations permanent members of the Security Council, and what they do, what ICC since 1993, which is their court, when they take a case, when a prosecutor prosecutes and the UN Security Council allows for investigation to go through, meaning politicians like Canada can't exhume the politicians, the government of Canada can't touch the bodies, they can't manipulate the sites. Pope Francis and the Catholic Church will turn over the documents to the ICC if they cooperate, which it looks very much like they're going to. Pope Francis will do that. Now, if they were to give it over to Canada, with Justin Trudeau stating that it's the church's fault, don't focus on me and my family or my time as ruler, the actual crown of Canada, let alone my father's time as ruler of Canada, who committed these atrocities. All Canadian prime ministers committed the atrocities. Canadians to understand, there is a history. 1867, the Indian Act of 1876, onward, even into what happened in the Northwest Rebellion, the British soldiers through Canada's Parliament coming through to eradicate the Métis, First Nations, and Canadian farmers of the time, to throw them off the land so they could put the train through. Okay? These actions, all of these actions are all important. A lot of people post about a lot of things. This court case is only focusing on the residential school system, that time period, as it was with UK running the world. Unfortunately, how that is, we can't change what the world was at that time. We will look at it, the overlap of politicians, absolutely from the world change in 45 all the way up till today. This case will be focused absolutely on exactly what is what in real international law, what actually can be done. I'm taking out all the other narratives, the Catholic Church, the rest of it. We're going to focus on who can be prosecuted, who the ICC absolutely has jurisdiction over. When they make a ruling that pertains to actual international law, they present that ruling to the P5, the United Nations Security Council permanent members. They vote, decide. They are a judge, they are a jury, and they are absolutely executioner. This is reality. You can look at the rich history of African nations who have gone through regime changes, went through genocides of their own by regimes, who was executed, who was removed. It's been done all over the world by the P5. The ruling by ICC, if done properly, that presents to the P5 in real international binding law that they have made, imposed on the entire world, and it matches correctly, the P5 will rule. They will rule exclusively, inclusively on the Canadian politicians who had the power, how the Canadian Constitution is written, how it goes against the binding world laws, what politicians have done since these key dates in those time periods, as well as what the investigation by the ICC uncovers, and against human rights enshrined, imposed by the P5. They will determine the fate of the politicians. You can all look clearly. I've been researching the ICC for a number of years. Clearly, I am Canada's expert. Not about bragging. People like to throw their narratives. I don't care. This is going through. Do you notice how Pope Francis's words after my video, whether he watched it or not, obviously I know exactly how the world works, just as I predicted the United States in their Supreme Court judgments. I can predict those just by following real law, real treaties as they really are. I just predicted the Catholic Church, didn't I? Pope Francis said exactly what had to be said. Exactly. Whether he watched my video or not is not the issue. The issue is I have this to a T. I understand the world, how it really works. I've spent an enormous amount of time learning that system, bringing it forward for all of you as it really is. With all of the crazy narrative gone, this case can't be ruined. It can't be ruined. The politicians will continue their narrative. Liberal, Conservative, NDP, Bloc, they're all going to go for the crown power. The crown power that all of those in every key section of world power and society are turning their backs on. It means the day of the Canadian politician and how they run Canada is going to be over. This is step one. Step one, it's here right now in front of us. We're going to change Canada in this world and provide a fine example of how things will go going forward. It's only the beginning. Canadian politicians will learn that their constitutional crown-embedded colonialism has to end. It has to end now. It's only going to get worse. This will be just like Nuremberg. You can look. Nuremberg trials still occurred just last year. Another conviction, almost 80 years later. That's how this will go as more and more evidence is unearthed. Nobody's going to give Canadian politicians anything from the church or any documentation. It's going to go to the world stage. It's going to go to the ICC. Canada has lost their ability in world-binding law to be trusted in any way, shape, or form. This should scare all Canadians and put them into the right track that it's Canada that's broken. Never mind the rest of the world. Worry about your country and how you can make your country better. That's what this is about. Never mind narratives of all the lunatics. There's lots of it. It comes from none other than your Canadian politicians, who has a tremendous amount of money, who has all the taxpayer money to fund any propaganda they want. Your Canadian politicians. They own all the media. The media prints what the government tells them to print. They're going to tell you the wrong narratives. As long as the politicians aren't held to account, which is your Canadian Constitution. Zero accountability. Unfortunately for them, the world laws say there is accountability. You will be tried, especially under genocide, and that's what we're doing. Thank you. My final video. Time to get to work. Massive data entry. Watch for it, everybody. It will be made public. The entire letter, all the signatures. It will be sent to the P5, the ICC, and the General Assembly. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye now.